Well, good morning, everybody. We are back at the fantastic Barston Lakes, and as you can see, it's a beautiful sunny day. This is day 2 of the Catch Fishing Channel Cup, and if you want to have a catch up on how it fished yesterday on this same venue, then the video prior to this one is all about the action from day 1, which was just yesterday. So we're here again, we're on the same pegs in the teens. We've got pegs 13, permanent pegs 13 right the way through to 29. We've got 2 teams of 6, Team Barlow versus Team Harrison. And if you want to see all the details, all the bits and bats from yesterday, have a look at the catch shots and that sort of thing, they are in the video before this one, so you can have a catch up. However, the overnight score is 4-2 to Team Barlow. So we've got quite a bit of work to do today. However, yesterday was all about silverfish. It was a silverfish only match yesterday. Pole fishing was allowed and feeder fishing, so some lads fished all those methods. However, today is all about carp and F1s. Okay, so again, it's any method, so you can fish the pole, bomb and waggler, pellet waggler, method feeder, whatever you want to do today. However, all species count. So as you can imagine, and you know, if you know the venue, today is really going to be about targeting carp and F1s. So Team Barlow in the driving seat, and we've obviously got some catching up to do. We've tweaked our little plan for today. We were going to be targeting silverfish quite heavily today, because I know how unreliable sometimes the carp and F1s can be here, and we thought the silverfish would be quite important. However, we've changed the plan, basically because the majority of the silverfish that were caught yesterday were skimmers. Really nice fishing, but they're averaging about 4 ounce, which in our opinion is a little bit too small. If those skimmers were a pound, and obviously bigger than that, then obviously they would be more important, and we would be targeting them a little bit more at stages today. However, now we've seen the size of the fish from yesterday, we've obviously got hindsight, and so we are going to go more down and more confident, pinging pellets. Possibly 1 or 2 of them are going to be big potting corn as well, the lads with the pole, for bream, for F1s, for carp. We have actually got 2 end pegs today. We've rotated the pegs from yesterday, so Dean's team yesterday had 2 end pegs. Today we've got 2 end pegs, and obviously in a carp and F1 stroke match, then we kind of fancy that, particularly as we may be targeting the margins later on. So let's have a quick walkthrough of the match length just to show you where everybody's drawn. So this is peg 30. There we go, just to give you the bearings of where we are. There's the island. That's the famous peg 124 over there. And there's the clubhouse, and there's the fountain. Okay, just so you know where we are. So that's peg 30. So our end peg today. Everyone's just setting up. We've just got an hour before the start. There's Stuart. Morning, Stuart. Morning, morning. Next to him, who he's fishing against, the anglers at the next peg, is Chris. Morning. He's on his knees already. The last time I saw him was last night, getting the final round of drinks. But they were all in bed early, so they all behaved. So those two are competing against each other. There's Mr. Barlow dressed in his Baywatch extras outfit. Morning, morning. And John Timmis, he's going to be fishing against Mark Deacon, who's there sorting his bait out in the shade. Morning, Mark. Morning. He's sorting his bait out. These pegs are all in the shade at the moment, but we know from yesterday that they will soon be in this baking heat. It's going to be about 30 degrees today. There's Carl. Morning, Carl. Morning. Carl is going to be fishing today against Mr. Blackmore. Morning, Matt. Okay. He's on it. He's expecting to get some more sun on them legs today, mate, aren't you? Oh no, he'll have his bib and brace on today. We'll be covered up. Some of the lads got a little bit too much sun yesterday, so I think they're going to be covering themselves up today. It really was hot. Some of these pegs didn't have any cover whatsoever. So next along here, Keith Harrison. Morning, morning. All of me. He's got more matrix gear than me, which is good to see. And he's going to be competing against the big fish expert. There's Dean. Morning, mate.
Morning, bud.
Morning. He hasn't got his support crew with him today, no. So he's on his own. He's flying solo.
She's here in spirit.
She's here in spirit. Hopefully she'll be watching. So those two are competing against each other. And then next along here is Gary. Again, he's got a matrix tattle stand. Gary Mason. Morning, Gary.
Morning.
Morning, morning. And he's fishing against Steve.
Morning.
Morning, morning, Steve.
Morning.
Steve won his section yesterday, but no pole today, Steve.
No.
He's not bothering with the pole today.
Oh, I can't be bothered.
I think 1 or 2 people are a little bit fished out from yesterday, but like I say, it's about carp and F1s today. There's Anthony. Morning, Anthony. Morning. He was on the MPEG yesterday. And next to him, finally, is Mr. Buller. Morning, Dave.
Hi mate, good morning.
Morning. Again, he's got his mini matrix tattle stand. And Mr. Buller, whilst he's on this MPEG, which we're fancying it, particularly later on, he might catch down his margin, he's got the green out there, as you can see, to cast to. What range is that, Dave? Do you know? 60 metres, 70 metres, 60 metres? I don't know what it is, I can't remember. I drew it once, I think about 9 years ago, but he's definitely going to be targeting that the green out there. So he's got his big rods up. But I think the main approach for today for everyone is going to be pinging pellets, 8mm pellets along that 25 metre line, and possibly fishing a waggler over it, a bomb, or the method feeder. And there are already fish cruising out there, so we think it's going to be with big fish in front of us. There were a lot of big fish and a lot of carp hooked yesterday on cage fishing tackle on skimmer gear. The biggest fish, I think Dean had one, probably 16-18 pound Dean Queen. So obviously one fish like that can change everything. So yeah, we're hoping these carp are going to feed. So the final weigh board from yesterday is here. So if you want to have a quick look, don't forget day one was all that silverfish, but we started at peg 13. That was Keith Harrison, and that runs right the way through to peg 29 where Anthony Colley was. But well, fantastic weights. To say that the fish were averaging 3-4 ounce, you know, they're brilliant weights, you know, and some of these lads have not really matched fish before. They're still new to it, but I think it's obviously testament to you know, what a cracking venue this is for this sort of match. So the weights you see there are all silverfish. However, today's going to be very, very different. Well, it's a couple of minutes before the off. We're here with Dean. Dean's just gone through the boards. Dean, how close was it on weight yesterday?
Really interesting. Some of the weights were so close. It could have another 10 or 15 minutes. It could have gone either way, and which it did in some cases where the pole definitely fished better later on in the afternoon. When the fish started feeding, but it was really close. My team 127 pound 11, and Jamie's team 122 13. So it makes all, it's just so fine lines and small edges that make all the difference. But today's another day. I mean, there isn't as many carp showing as yesterday, but the ones that are showing look like they're feeding, so who knows? Yeah,
we haven't talked about it, but obviously, I mean, Dean's team is 4-2 in front. If it does end up a tie on points, then it will go on to weight count back, and that's why Dean's done that.
You wouldn't think I'd ever lose out on weight, would
you? Well, a few minutes before the off. Good luck, mate.
Cheers, pal.
And hopefully these carp and F1s are going to get their heads down and feed and give these lads a great finish to this competition. That's it, 11:30. All in, lads, time! Good luck, lads. This is Dave, he's on peg 13, the first peg, and as you can see, he's got all this margin here. Look how sheltered it is, how much shade there is on the water. There are fish everywhere on the top cruising. He's got some fish here, literally 8-10 metres from the bank, just cruising really close in. There are lots of fish out in that open water, but these pegs here where, you know, Dave's obviously on this end peg, there are definitely fish much closer in. You can see them. Whether they're going to feed or not is a different issue, but there's absolutely loads of fish out there. That's looking back down there towards the bridge. There's fish cruising all the way around that green, all the way around that island. He has got a rod clipped up. Well, you can see the fish moving there. It's absolutely solid. But Dave's kicked off on the method feeder and he's just starting to fire pellets out to that 25 metre line and just build that up, and I think that's going to be the most common tactic for today. I think we've been fishing half an hour and it's a very slow start, even though it's full of fish out there. Dave Buller on the end there, he's got loads of fish out there in front of him and he hasn't even had a liner. There's been one carp caught up to now, and that is John Timmis down there, but it was literally only a pound. That's it. Down here we've got Gary Mason, Team Harrison. He's the first one to hook a proper fish on the method, so he's currently playing that. Just to his right, 2 pegs to his right, is Dean. Just see him in the white shirt there. Again, Team Harrison. He's doing the best up to now. He's got a 2-pound bream, he's got a small skimmer and a little tiny carp. So he's doing best at the minute with that weight. So you just tell how slow it's actually started. But obviously Gary's going to do everything he possibly can. He wants to make sure he lands this fish. It is a proper fish. Hooked it out in the open water on the method feeder, so he's going to try and make sure he lands it. Bit of a shuffle. Well done, Gary. Well done, mate. Took his time with it. He's made sure. That's a good fish, that one. How big's that, Gary? 7, 8?
Yeah, 8 or 9 pound.
Brilliant. Well done, mate. You're off the mark. Just a few pegs down to the right. This is Matt Blackmore. He's into one. Looks like he's got it on the method. We've just heard that Chris Butler is second from end peg, which is peg 28. He's got one like Gary's as well, about 7 or 8 pound. Good same fish.
Well done, Matt.
Well done, mate. So it's 3 caught now, so I might see signs that they're waking up a little bit and switching on. Nice pat on the back from Dean. It's lunchtime and it's 30 degrees, so it's time for a bit of a treat for the lads. The ice cream must have brought Dave a bit of luck.
Ice cream catch.
Ice cream catch, is it that one? Yeah. Good fish, mate. So that's his first carp. Bomb and pellet. Well done, pal. Finish your ice cream now. Well, we're 2 hours in, and as you can see, looking around the lake, there's Mr. Barlow sat studying. And as I speak, Gary has just hooked into one, which is the 3rd one he's hooked. And Steve Norbury, has he got it?
No.
No, still playing it. Steve Norbury's playing one there. Dave Buller on the end peg down there. He's now got 3 now. He's had 2 on the waggler and his first one was on the bomb. We know there's a lot of fish down there, but they're obviously not easy to catch, so he's had to tweak quite a few things. So he's got 3. Steve's playing one now. Gary's got 2 in the net. He's playing one now, as you can see. So we are starting to see signs of 1 or 2 carp feeding, but if I pan out there, just have a look at how many fish are actually on the top out there. And that is all the way down in front of these teens. You can just see how many fish are out there. And they are starting to come within loose fed pellet range, where hopefully we're going to be able to catch them. But that last fish what Dave Buller got is easier double, so just each bite can make a huge difference. But the further you get down that way towards the higher numbers, there are less carp caught down there. That's on bomb and pellet, as you can see. Another good fish. This hopefully. Well done, pal. That's Gary's 3rd. That puts him in a great position now. Well done, mate. Well, we're just coming up to the last 2 hours and it's absolutely baking hot. There are a few carp caught, but it's one of those really frustrating days where, you know, you just have to, one bite can make all the difference. Dave Buller behind me, he's on the MPEG 13. He's now playing his 5th proper carp. He is on the MPEG. You know, there are fish out there, and you know, you can say there's loads of fish in front of him, but to be quite honest, there are loads of fish all the way down in front of people. But it's noticeable that the further down you go towards peg 29, the MPEG, the further out the majority of the fish are, whereas up at this end, a lot of the fish that we're seeing moving on the surface are within catapulting range, so that they're at that, you know, within that 25 metre range. So Dave, it's actually his 9th fish, this one that he's playing. We're hoping, obviously, fingers crossed, that he's going to land it. It'll be his 5th proper fish, hopefully. Anthony next to him's got some. I think he's got at least 3 fish, or 3 carp. But at the moment, I think at one stage, Team Harrison was winning it, I think, but and we looked in a very strong position. However, it's not looking quite as good now, to be honest. Dave is in my team, so he's winning this section currently. The next section down is Steve Norbury and Gary Mason. Now Gary's got 3 carp. Steve has just caught his 2nd. However, his 2nd carp was nearly £20. It's a £20 ghosty. So that's all it takes to completely change things like that. The next section down is Dean and Keith Harrison. Now they're having a little bit of a battle. Dean was winning that. Neither one of them has caught a carp. Dean has caught 1 or 2 bream. I think he's gotten some skimmers. However, Keith Harrison's got his head down on skimmers now, and he's putting a nice run of skimmers together. This fish is putting up a real battle behind me, isn't it? You can hear it. Next down from that is Matt Blackmore, and he's fishing against Carl Rance. Now Matt Blackmore is winning that with 3 carp. Carl's only got 1 carp, unfortunately, at the minute, but he has lost one at the net. So that really should be 3-2, unfortunately. So he's 3-1 down on carp, so he needs to catch carp. Next one down from that is Mark Deakin, who's fishing against John Timmis. Neither one of them have caught a carp yet. Mark Deacon was a little bit unlucky. He has hooked a carp, but it broke him. So he could be 1-0 in front in that. But at the moment, there isn't a carp caught there, so they only need one carp to go in front. And then the final section is Chris Buckley against Stuart Neville May, and Chris has got one carp, one proper carp about £9, and then he's got one about £1. Well done, Dave. Still fighting him, that one. Hopefully it's going to stay in that landing net. I said, yeah, good fish. And then Stuart Neville on the MPEG. He hasn't got a carp yet. He really needs a carp, so we need him to get one. However, he is on the MPEG, and he has just fed his margin, so we're hoping that some fish are going to come down that margin for him. So whilst Team Barlow are edging it at the minute, I think anything can happen. You know, 1 or 2 bites in any of those sections could change everything, and we obviously expect the fishing to get better as we approach the finish at 4:30. Well, we're into the last few minutes now, and quite a few things have changed in that second half, but as you'd expect, just one bite with the size of the fish and everything, it can change everything. So we think there's been 1 or 2 leaders in certain sections, and 1 or 2 sections we all think it's going to be quite close. I don't think we've done enough to overtake Team Barlow. I don't think we've done it, you know, not quite enough. We have won 1 or 2 sections, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I think we need a little bit more luck, but the lads have fished absolutely fantastic. They've really battled right to the end. But there are just a few minutes left, so if anybody catches any lumps at this stage, that could certainly change everything. Certainly 1 or 2 of the sections down to my left. So I'm going to get the scales out, work my way down to peg 29 at the end where Stuart Neville is, and we're going to get weighed in and find out what everyone's caught. Well, they're the weights for day 2. Kicking off with Dave Buller on the MPEG. I'll run through those, just show you all those, and you've also got the points there as well. Some fantastic weights considering how difficult it's fished. Testament again to what a fantastic diverse venue this is, when you can get such big silverfish weights one day and then carp weights like that on blistering hot sunny days. It's been a fantastic couple of days. Well, we've done the weigh-in and it was much closer than what we thought, so we're going to meet around the back of the clubhouse, and that's where we're going to present the medals. Right, thank you everybody. Cheers lads, thank you for joining us. You know what this competition's all about. It's been tough 2 days, hasn't it? 2 baking hot days. A lot of you look like you'd had enough this morning, didn't they?
Definitely. Yeah. I feel really cool now though.
Yeah, Dean says he's never done so. He says he doesn't do as much work as this when he's at work.
That's right, I don't do this much work at work.
No, it's been a fantastic couple of days. You lads know the result anyway. It's over to... I'm going to congratulate Mr Barlow. They've taken the title this year, but it's them lads that have done all the hard work.
Absolutely brilliant.
I know that. So we've got some medals here for you. Do you want to say anything before we give these medals?
Yes, thanks for coming. No, it's been absolutely brilliant. Barston has stood up to being one of the best fisheries in the country. Obviously, loads of silverfish and just loads of bites, and I think everybody's enjoyed it. So that's the main part. It is. Obviously, there is the team side of it, but we're still here coaching and helping people to get better at fishing. So, but the guys, it's been so hot. It's been like 26 degrees today, and they've stuck to the task. Absolutely brilliant. So, fair play to them. It's been really, really difficult. So.
And it is a day ticket water. I'll get loads of messages about this. It is a day ticket water. barstonlakes.co.uk website. All the information's on there for you. All right, so anybody can come and fish this on a day ticket. So,
and if you're going to come here, just bring some good mussels with you because you're going to need them.
Right then, lads, if you'd like to just come and get your hard-earned medals, there we go, lad. I'll let you shake your own team.
First of all, Chris Buckley.
Chris Buckley, well done, Chris. Well done, mate.
2 section wins. That's
2 section wins. You won your section both days?
Yeah. Keith Harrison.
Well done, mate.
At least one Harrison's won some at this week.
Well done, mate. 2 section wins again. Steve Norbury.
Big Steve. He's been stood under trees sheltering today,
Well done, mate. Nice ghosty today, wasn't there?
There was. 2 section wins.
2 section wins, yes.
Matt Blackmore.
Well done, Matt. Smashed it out of the
One
park
down
today.
the pole, one down the feeder. Well done, pal.
Cheers, pal.
New to match fishing, by the way.
John Timmis.
John, battled both days, haven't you, mate? Battled both days.
You got the best suntan as well. There you go.
I didn't get a tree underneath. That's why.
And last but not least,
Last of all, Anthony Collar. who
Well
I
done,
just want to
Anthony.
mention that he's the most improved angler that we've ever had on our teams.
100%.
So, really well done, mate. Really
Well done,
proud of
Anthony.
you. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done, everybody. Great performance.
Cheers.
Thanks for watching, everybody. If you want to know anything about the fishery, about any of these group days, then just comment below. We'll do our best to help you out. So thanks for sharing this with us. I'm good again. We'll get them back next year. Thanks for watching.